Welcome to another interview as we count down for our 125th anniversary. We're back here in our archive room, and with me is a great friend, the first president that I had, welcomed me at Yeager Airport, and has just been everywhere here at the synagogue helping me, and just a great part of our community. Steve Max. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
As we count down to our 125th, I've been asking people to just reminisce about memories of B'nai Jacob. What's your first memories of B'nai Jacob?
First memory, I'd like to think I could remember about the old synagogue. The only thing I remember about the old synagogue is the picture that was taken. It's down here in the archive room, and it shows the picture of all the kids in Sunday school plus their parents in the background. It's a great picture. And I'm sitting up there three over from the left. I was a cute kid. I don't know what happened to me.
It is a great picture.
But anyway, that's basically the only thing I remember. And then I believe at that time that the synagogue, the women sat upstairs in the balcony and the men sat downstairs. And then when they raised the money to build this building, whether it's a wives' tale or not, or whether nice, that the women says, we're going to help you raise the money, but we want to sit downstairs. How accurate that is, I don't know. But anyway, when we moved over here is when I really first remembered. As a kid, I went to Canal Elementary, which is a block over, and after school, we would come over to the synagogue for Hebrew school. And I had 4 classes at the time, 2 for the younger 2 groups and 2 for the older 2 groups. And you'd come in and go to your class, and when you're finished, you go downstairs and play basketball or handball or whatever ball that we were playing. And had a great time. Used to have people from Morse Harvey would come up, which is now University of Charleston. They would come over and supervise us and keep us out of trouble, as well as Leon.
Who was Leon?
Leon was the custodian, I apologize. And Reverend Samuels and Cantor Reese taught Hebrew school, and Cantor Reese was more relaxed than Mr. Samuels. Mr. Samuels was a taskmaster, and which every letter and every vowel had a meaning, and every dot in a letter had a meaning. We've had this discussion. But anyway, Mr. Samuels would come around and tap you on the back of the head, or
was it a tap or was it a little?
Oh no, it wasn't a tap. People familiar with that. It was the old school. And we had a good time. I know growing up that I got kicked out of school, Hebrew school several times. But when I was growing up, we had Cantor Reese was part of the original church. He helped set up church league basketball and softball. And so we had the teams in the church league basketball, played basketball, and had a good time. It was fun. During the growing up, the services, we had large attendance. What I remember is large attendance on Friday night, and after Friday night service, you would have coffee and tea, and the rabbi would lead us in a discussion. And the bar mitzvah part of it, the rabbi did the speech. Cantor Reese did the services itself.
In other words, training
for the service, and Reverend Samuels. Oh,
this is nice live TV.
Nice live TV. I lost my yarmulke. Anyway, if anything's going to go wrong, it'll happen to me.
You forget getting kicked out of lessons. You're going to get kicked out of this interview.
It won't be the first. But Reverend Samuels did the Torah portion, and everything went fairly smooth. It was fun growing up here.
One of the things you've always talked about, and I know that you're in the kitchen all the time, and we're very blessed during times that you're here in the morning, you make breakfast. Tell us about the bar and bat mitzvah breakfast.
Oh, yeah, they had the
bar mitzvah breakfast.
First of all, we used to have a youth group. And the youth group was great. That was set up by Mr. and Mrs. Reuben Clark, and I forgot Mrs. Clark's first name. It was Alan and Joanne's parents. And they were both teachers, but they set up the youth group and got us involved. We had dances, socials, and everything else goes along with it, and educational things. And it was a lot of fun. And one of the things, we were belonged to one of the national groups, and I forgot which one. It was a conclave or what have you up the Catskill Mountains. And A group of us here, 13, 14-year-old kids or 12-year-olds, took a train from here to New York, unchaperoned. We weren't chaperoned. Before changing trains, one of our group had fallen asleep in the carriage luggage rack. Almost missed the change of trains. We got up to New York, Canterbury's met us there, and took us to the hotel. Went from the hotel to a kosher restaurant. It's the first time I've been in a kosher restaurant. It's a restaurant. They had a sink setting out there. You wash your hands before the meal, so say the prayers. And then from there we went to a play. Great seats. And I fell asleep immediately. Found out that remember that the play was No Time for Sergeants. And
Who was in it?
Andy Griffith and one of Nemo's good friends. That's Sherman Nemo. And then from there, the next day we were bussed up to the mountains. And like I said, I think it was the Pines that we stayed at. I'm not quite sure. And we had the services up there, had the socials, had good food, and then turned around and came back, reversed the process. And, it was a great time to have bar mitzvahs were interesting at that time. Friday night you would give your speech, and Rabbi Cooper's the one that would prepare you for that. And you didn't read the speech; you had to memorize it. And you did part of the Friday night service, which is mostly in English. And that's when you invited the Gentiles. And the next day is when the Jews, a greater proportion of the congregation, the people there were Jewish. And then at that time, the women got together, of all the boys that were being bar mitzvahed at the time, and prepared the platters. Gentlemen had the platters and the your food after the bar mitzvah, and the Kiddush luncheon, and it was very nice, and had a great time. The bar mitzvah boys' breakfast, that was on Sunday, and then you come in on Sunday morning, and Reverend Samuels would take you into the sanctuary, you could play at the felon, do the service, come back out, come downstairs. The mothers of the group would have the breakfast for you, bagel lox and cream cheese and all that. It's a great breakfast. And then shortly after we started eating, the rabbi come down when he had finished with the kids, and we'd have a discussion. One of the interesting things we used to do in Sunday school, we used to meet in the gymnasium the church would set up, and a rabbi called somebody to do the hafta, and one would have to do it in Hebrew and the other one would have to do it in English. You didn't know that you would be called on, so you had to be prepared. It could be embarrassing if you weren't ready.
Speaking of
embarrassing, I still remember that.
You've got me a lot to digest about all these memories. One of the things I'm taking away is how much women did at the synagogue. And it reminds me that our next few interviews, we probably need to interview some of our women who really developed and helped B'nai Jacob.
It would be nice.
Yeah, so that'll be our next interviews. I know we could talk forever about it, but let's see. I guess maybe in a nutshell, tell us, what does B'nai Jacob mean to you?
Well, when I was a kid growing up, I spent a lot of time here, and after I came back, involved in a lot of activities and process the officers through the office of the synagogue. As a short note, I was secretary for a number of years at the synagogue, and Rabbi Cooper used to sit in on all the meetings. And here I am, a practicing attorney. I had to turn my minutes over to him for him to proofread. And then he'd proofread to make sure that I got everything in there, in essence, rewrite the minutes. I'd sign off on them. But, you asked me what it was like. But to me, it's always been a home for me. And it's always been welcoming. And hopefully we get a lot of people come back for it. And I'd like to reacquaint myself with them and so on.
Thank you. I mean, one of the themes I'm hearing from a lot of people, both those that I've interviewed so far, as well as people that are coming in, that B'nai Jacob is, like what you said, home. And that's why our theme for the reunion, the 125th, is called Home for the Holidays. It begins on Friday, September 27th, with Shabbat dinners throughout the area. If you're coming, We'd like to fix you up with families to be able to spend Friday night with them. And then Saturday morning, a Shabbat service followed by a Kiddush luncheon. Saturday evening, a banquet at the Marriott. Sunday, we have a brunch after the services. We have some other activities on Sunday. And then hopefully, if you'll stay for the holidays, home for the holidays, you'll be here for Rosh Hashanah, which will be Sunday night, as we ring in the new Jewish year. On behalf of Steve, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Come and enjoy.
Please.